Hello, IB History Scholars. It's Mr. Newcomb. We are coming to the end of week 3 of distant learning, so I thought I'd take a time to check in and give a little update and preview of week 4 for distant learning. Uh, as usual, I always start off with a little housekeeping stuff, and so with that, I want to focus again on attendance. Attendance, I would say as I look back at it for this past week, it seems to be a work in progress. Some of us need to step it up a little bit here and making sure that regularly checking into Schoology, and that is just something important that you need to do, whether it's for this class or for your other classes. Just get in that habit. The assignment, Kosovo Course of Conflict Intervention, well, that is due today, so let's take care of business and get that in. You definitely want to do that one because it's a summative assessment, so let's get it in. So with that, just a quick review of the Kosovo conflict. Yugoslavia was attempting to suppress the KLA and the Kosovo independence movement. They were doing that through their national rhetoric, constitutional changes, and ethnic violence. And throughout the conflict, the ethnic violence, the atrocities were being committed by the army and the paramilitary forces. And it is those atrocities that are definitely bringing on international attention. For Kosovo, the Kosovo Liberation Army, the KLA, was trying to meet that opposition of Yugoslavia, the army and the paramilitary forces. But the thing with the KLA is it really is a small regional force. It struggled to really get outside help. Perhaps maybe Albania was helping them and some Albanian nationalist groups, but they're realistically on their own in this conflict, and they really didn't have a link with the Kosovo Defense League. And remember, the Defense League is associated with Rugova. And the international community here, well, that role, you can definitely analyze it and look at it and see that the international community is really divided on it. The United Nations, just like in Rwanda, were very reluctant to get involved in this particular conflict. They'll probably play more of a role afterwards in the peacekeeping, but during the conflict itself was not necessarily on the same page with some of the other international players here. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, did get involved. They felt that there might have been a humanitarian crisis going on, so they did step up against Yugoslavia here. You had 78 days of bombing, but one would say ultimately with the help of Russia as a mediator, and not necessarily working with NATO, but working as a mediator here, put pressures on Slobodan Milosevic in Yugoslavia to settle the conflict. What the conflict exposed was the ethnic cleansing that had occurred in it. The acts are prompting international concerns, and you can see that refugee camps begin to appear in Albania and Macedonia, and to avoid further humanitarian crisis, the conflict needed to come to a conclusion. And so when it did come to a conclusion, it did set up a way for a path to Kosovan independence, which will occur in 2008. So moving on to the next assignment then is really looking at the impact of this conflict. All right, and the assignment, Impact of the Kosovan Conflict, can be found in the case study folder for Kosovo. This is to be a solo activity, and you are to respond to several focus questions. There will also be a few video clips, so make sure that you watch them and respond to the appropriate questions related to them. This assignment will be due Friday, April 24th. And if you want to take it to another level here, I do have a couple of enrichment opportunities. And these two enrichment opportunities, one of them relates to Kosovo. It's a Kosovo Dark War documentary, and there's a write-up to it. And the other one is about another contemporary genocide story. It's the Rohingya genocide. And so very similar to the contemporary issues, enrichment activity, uh, go out and try to find a story, a news item related to that genocide. So with that, as always, if you do have any questions or concerns, send me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. With that, take care, be safe, learn it, live it, love it.